Hello. At this point, we've now added our details for the class. We've added categories, and now it's up to add assignments for our students to take. Again, you can see here that our current filter is current term. We can use a filter to change what term are we going to want to be looking at. So is it term 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, or term 3? Click OK, and then it would just show us those terms in that quarter or in that term. So here we're going to go up to the top and we're going to say options, add assignment. So you'll notice that the first thing that it goes to is under the category section. So we had added 2 categories previously. We can either click on the magnifying glass and see the codes there, or we could just type it in. So let's say this is going to be an oral assignment. So if we just type ORA, it's going to complete that one, and it's going to automatically put in the default fields that we'd put in our categories. So let's put it to private, entry mode of both. The total points is 10, and it defaults today's date. All right, so let's keep on working through. So gradebook column name, this needs to be a short title. So we're going to call this, let's say, a working assignment, or just work. You may want to come up with abbreviations. Let's say if you were using working assignments, you could put WA1 as in the first one. So this is their working assignment, number 1. Date assigned could be assigned today. Day that it's due, we're going to go on to here and we're going to say it's due on the 16th. Of course, that could be typed in if I wanted. I could delete that and type in September 16, and it automatically inserts it in. Online submission. So this deals with the ability for students to submit their assignments online. So if you were using the parent portal, the student portal, you could run your classes out of MyEd. If you're interested in having a conversation about that, please let me know and we can look at what that looks like. We're not currently deploying that, but that is possible for teachers to use if interested. Is this scored for extra credit? So in other words, will this grade count against the total mark that the student is assigned? In other words, if they don't do well on this, is this assignment extra credit? Extra credit points deals with how many points are available for extra credit. So these are 2 very different. It's a bit misleading. This extra credit determines whether or not this assignment should count against the student's grade. So in other words, if they don't do it, then it's not going to count against them. This one here allows you to give them a surplus points. So you could give them 12 out of 10. And the reason why they want you to put this in is if you don't have something that determines your top end for marks, you may accidentally put a 12 when you meant to put a 10 out of 10 and give them a 12. So this just says, well, actually, that's not an available mark. If you put in 13 and you say that, well, we say here there's 2 extra credit points available, and you accidentally put in a 13, it's not going to let you do that. Score not droppable is this specific assignment. This goes back to that conversation right back in details to drop the lowest score. If you've said yes, you can determine certain assignments where that's not an option. The default is that they're all within it because we've set this category to allow for dropped, or it would override it either way. If your category is said that don't drop any scores, it wouldn't matter what you put here because it's not going to drop anything out of the oral category. Here is our visibility type. So again, set it to private so that when you first post, students can't see it. Once you're ready, or once you've made the assignment, you could change that to public, no grades. And then after you've graded all the assignments, you could go back in and change that to public. All right, grade scale is inappropriate. We don't use it in high school. That's just for elementary. And then grade term, when are we assigning this? It's always going to default to the current one. Now, if this is a recurring assignment, you can put in how often do you want to create it, and it will mass create these assignments for you. So let's say, for example, in a PE class, you had a recurring beep test that they did every single day. You could say, I want this to be done every day, the start date, the end date, and the frequency within it. So it could be once every 2 days, every other day that they're doing it, and you can put that in there. It may instead be a weekly assignment where you want it to reoccur every week on Mondays and Tuesdays. All right, or you could say every second week, or monthly, and again, frequency day 15 of every second month, or every month. It's the first assignment on every one. Anyways, again, that gives you the idea of being able to create repetitive events or assignments without having to recreate them every time that you create them. So again, going back to the use of the portal, that if you wanted to provide additional resources regarding this assignment, you could add a file, you could add web links, and then when students log in, they'd be able to access those documents right from your student portal if that's the direction you want it to go. Portal description. Just additional information. Again, that same concept, we could add information regarding the assignment, add files and web links. Standards deal with elementary reporting, and we're going to leave that again for when we talk about elementaries. We'll do some separate videos on that. So once we finish, we can then either say save, and that just leaves us on the screen, or we can hit save anew, and it will open up a blank assignment, and we can continue going from there, adding new assignments. If you have any questions regarding adding assignments, please don't hesitate to contact me. Thank you.